So this anvaya.
I only start now.
Oh, okay, fine. So this anvaya, that is the dandanvaya or the linear order, this is described in this way, starting with the adjectives, targeting at the head word, that is the visheshya, in the order of kartru karma kriya, that is subject object verb, you get the anvaya, that is the natural order of words in a sentence. So what the student should do is they should identify what are the adjectives, which are the head words, and these head words, which one is the subject, which is the object, etc. They need to identify. And further, once you identify these, how they are to be placed, the order is this: Ādau kartrupradam vachyam, dvitiyaadipadam tataha, tvātumunyap cha madhye tu, kuryat ante kriyapadam. So it says, start with the karta, that is the subject, followed by other words, placing the non-finite verbal forms in between, and then place the main verb at the end. So they have provided a default word order in which is the normal word order that is followed in typical conversations, etc. So this is how you get the prose word order from the poetry, from the verse. And then this is one way. The other one is the method of khandanvaya, where you connect the words forming small pieces and then connect these connected pieces together. So connect these small pieces together to get the complete sentence, to understand the complete sentence. So we try to follow both these, and I will explain in demonstration how we are following these two methods of understanding a sentence. But then the main question now is, well, these are two different methods, but still, how do I know that this word is connected to this word? So I have a verse where I have a continuous string of letters. Now I need to understand how to segment these. Once I know the segmentation, I have different words, and now I should know which word is connected to which word and so on. So once I know this, then I will have complete understanding of the text. So this complete understanding of the text, the process, which is called Śābdabodha, what it is, given an utterance, these theories of Śābdabodha, they discuss how various elements in the utterance interact with each other, leading to the meaning or understanding of it. So there are three schools which deal with this verbal cognition. One is the grammarian school, the other one is the logicians, and the third one is exegesis. Actually, if we look at the history, historically, it is the Mimamsakas exegesis who started with the discussion on verbal cognition, because they were very much interested in understanding the Vedic texts and understanding them objectively. So they started developing the theory, and then later on logicians joined them, and later even the grammarians joined them. There are small differences, subtle differences between their way of understanding the text. Nevertheless, almost 90 to 95% of the understanding is common. There are very fine shades of differences between their way of representing the meaning. So here is one. Is it visible? Not. Okay, let me see if I can improve upon it. Okay, so here is one representation, and this representation is of the grammarian's understanding of the sentence Ramaha Vanam Gacchati, which means Ram goes to the forest. So there are three words here. One is Gacchati, another one is Vanam, and the third one is Ramaha.
Excuse me, you don't seem to have shared your screen. We don't see any, at least I don't see anything.
Well, just a minute. Yeah, just a minute. Where it is, okay. So, yeah. You have to enable sharing.
So I think it should be okay now. Let's see whether.
No, host disabled
yes.
participating.
I have to share screen.
Yeah, yeah.
You told me last time. What should I do? Security. Security. There is the security. Share. No, that's my own screen. Oh, security. Yeah. You told me yesterday. So share screen. Yes. That's it.
Okay.
Little. Starting
well, now you can see the screen. Can you see my screen?
Can everyone see the screen now? Is it visible?
There is
yes.
some,
Yes.
okay, fine.
I see it, but it's pretty small, of course. But
No, just a minute. Small. I will come to it.
So now,
yeah.
And you have to maybe.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yes.
Okay. I think this is fine now. Okay, so we have a sentence, Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. There are three words here. And if we look at this diagram, this is coming in between. Okay. So if you look at this diagram, there are some circles or ovals and there are some rectangles or squares. So this Ramaha, the word Ramaha consists of two parts. One is Rama, which is the stem, and Su, which is the suffix. Vanam also has two parts. Vana, which means forest, and is the suffix which stands for accusative singular. Su stands for nominative singular. And there is Gacchati, which consists of two parts. One is Gam and the other part is Ti. Gam is the verbal stem, which means to go. And Ti is the verbal suffix, which represents a present tense singular. And also it tells that the agent is being expressed, karta is being expressed by this Ti. So these meanings are here. This stands for singular. Vana, a forest, which is the meaning of this word is represented here. So the overall meaning, so if we look at this, the dotted lines, they tell you through dotted lines, the meanings are connected. And these two meanings, along with the accusative marker, tell us that this forest is the goal. Goal for what? Goal for the activity expressed by the verb Gam. Similarly, the meaning of the word Ramaha, the meaning of Rama and meaning of this suffix, these two together tell us that it is the agent for this particular activity. And there are again certain constraints that this agent, the singular meaning which is coming from this and the singular meaning which is coming from this, they should match and all that. And thus, from all this, we finally get the meaning that it is the Rama who is the agent of the activity of going, and the goal or the destination of this activity of going is the forest. So these grammarians have worked out all the details of which part of the text or string express what kind of information and how the information flows, and it leads to the understanding of the sentence. Okay, so let me now reduce the size and make it normal. Okay, so in order to understand now this sentence, how this forest gets related to the activity, or how this word Rama gets related to this activity and so on, it's not that you just look at the suffixes and it can go and get attached to it by certain relation. There are certain constraints that need to be satisfied for being the correct, for having the correct understanding. We need to see that certain constraints are also satisfied. And these constraints are given by Kumaril Bhatta in his Tantravartika. He says, ākāṅkṣā sannidhanam cha yogyatā cheti chatrayam sambandha karanatvena kliptam nanantara shrutihi. So there are three factors: ākāṅkṣā, sannidhi, and yogyatā. Ākāṅkṣā, I have roughly translated it as expectancy, but really it is the desire on the part of the speaker. Yogyatā is the meaning congruity, and sannidhi is the proximity. So if we look at what they are trying to do, there are words in a sentence. Now we need to find out which words are related to which, and there are certain constraints. Not that any word can relate to any other word. The constraints say that the words should have expectancy for each other. They should be meaning-wise congruent. There should be meaning congruity. And it's not that any word can connect with any other word. They should be, there should be a proximity between the words. They should be nearby. Of course, there are certain violations to it, which we will be looking at in the next talk. But these are the three constraints: ākāṅkṣā, yogyatā, and sannidhi. How do I go down? No, this is not working. Okay. So let us see these one by one. The first one is the ākāṅkṣā, or the expectancy. The word ākāṅkṣā was first found in Jaimini's Mīmāṅsā Sutra. In the Sutra, Artha ekatvat ekam vakyam sākāṅkṣam sa ākāṅkṣam chet vibhage syat. So what it means is, actually he is giving the definition of a vakya. What is a sentence? Now, why this question, what is a sentence? The reason is, actually this has something to do with the Yajurveda. In Yajurveda, these mantras are there one after another. And then since it is a continuous text, people are reciting it continuously. In order to know the boundaries of these mantras, the clue is given this way, that if you take a group of words, now whether it is one sentence or more than one sentences, this is what we need to decide. So what you do is take this group of words, divide it into two parts randomly, and after dividing, if you find that the words in these two groups have expectancy, mutual expectancy, so the words in one group have expectancy for the words in another group, that means you cannot separate them, they should be together. You cannot divide it, you need to make it as one unit. So it says this is one criteria. Another criteria, another aspect of it is the whole thing should serve a single purpose. Here the artha is the purpose, not the meaning. So it should have a single purpose, the whole group of words. Artha ekatvat ekam vakyam. It's a single unit, provided it has a single purpose, and provided vibhage syat, if you divide it, then the units have mutual expectancy, they are ākāṅkṣā. So if that is the case, then that whole thing forms one unit. So a group of words forms a sentence if, when separated, the words have mutual expectancy. Words from two different groups have mutual expectancy, and it serves a single purpose. Now, what is this ākāṅkṣā? Ākāṅkṣā, as I said earlier, is jñātum iccā. It's the desire on the part of a listener to know. Now, to know what? Of course, a person, when he listens, he will have lots of curiosities. But what is being talked about it is the syntactic expectancy. So let me take an example. Suppose the sentence is bring a cow, then the person to whom I have addressed this, that person should know that I am asking him to bring something, and that something is a cow. He need not have further expectancies. He need not. So here by ākāṅkṣā, we are not talking about the expectancies such as the person may have expectancies, what color cow, and whether the cow should be small one or big one, and all those expectancies are the psychological expectancies, which we are not talking about here. What we are talking about is when you have a sentence bring a cow, then the person, after listening the word bring, will have expectancy in his mind, what needs to be brought. So the expectancy related to the arguments of the verb, and when he listens this word a cow after the word bring, he knows that this cow is in object position in English, or if it is in Sanskrit, there will be a accusative case marker, and then that accusative case marker will trigger an expectancy in the mind of the listener, and he will connect it with the verb. So this kind of syntactic expectancy we are talking about. So this is the ākāṅkṣā. Now these ākāṅkṣās, these expectancies are of two types. One is utthita ākāṅkṣā and the other one is utthāpya ākāṅkṣā. Now, what are these two types of expectancies? The utthita ākāṅkṣā is a kind of expectancy which is mutual, which is direct, or which is natural one, as in the case of verb and its arguments. So when you say close the door, the verb close has the expectancy. What needs to be closed? And the door, being in the object position, has an expectancy for the verb. What needs to be done with the door? In Sanskrit, we have this suffix, accusative marker, which tells you that this dvara, that is the door, is the object of this verb. So these expectancies, these are mutual. Both the verb close as well as the word in this position have expectancies for each other. There is another kind of expectancy which is unilateral, or there is a potential. It's possibly there is a possibility that the two words may get connected. So potency is there and it's unilateral. Let me give an example. Let us consider the adjectives. So when I say bring a brown cow, brown is an adjective. Brown has an expectancy for a cow. Hello? The word brown has an expectancy for the cow, but the word cow, well, yes. Yes, there is somebody talking. Do you want to ask a question? Otherwise, please stop your mics.
Or in the chat, are there slides? Oh, that is, there was no screen share. Now the screen sharing is there. So maybe the questions can be asked in the mic, in the chat. And please switch off please unmute yourself.
That's not the comment in the chat is what I wrote many minutes before there was screen sharing. That's
yeah.
So this is not the, I don't know who is the other person that we heard.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe somebody might have unmuted their mic and then that's.
No problem.
Okay. So the second kind of expectancy is the utthapya ākāṅkṣā, which is unilateral expectancy. So I was talking about the example, bring a brown cow. So the word brown, which is an adjective, has an expectancy. If you just say bring a brown, it's incomplete. You need to know what is this brown referring to. So brown has an expectancy for cow, but bring a cow in itself is a complete sentence. It does not have an expectancy for brown. So this is a unilateral expectancy, whereas in the case of bring a cow.
बेटा इतना ही लिया है मैंने पता तुम्हें बताया भी तो कई बार हूँ इतना.
Hello, please, Ankit Mishra, will you please mute yourself? So we have this expectancy which is unilateral. This is with the case of adjectives. Similarly with the genitive case marker. So if I say, look at this book and look at this book of George Orwell. So when I use this genitive case marker, the of something, I can always drop it and the sentence will still be complete. So I can say, look at this book, which is a complete sentence. Look at this John's book. I can drop this word John and still I have a complete sentence. The word John's has an expectancy for something else, for book, but the word book does not have an expectancy for John. Ankit Mishra, will you please mute yourself?
हाँ
You can't mute from here.
ठीक है बाय
Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. So here is the standard example from the literature, which says Udayati Chandraha. The moon rises. This is a complete sentence on it in its own. And later on, you have a kind of afterthought. You want to tell who is this Chandra? Kumuda Bandhava, a friend of lotus. So this is added later on, but this Kumuda Bandhava has an expectancy. One should know who is the friend of a lotus, but the Chandra, moon, does not have an expectancy for this one. So this is the unilateral expectancy. And this...
In India, the lotus starts to blossom and the moon shines.
Yeah.
Realize that. It's not everyone realizes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for this comment. Well, so we have this unilateral expectancy. So we have, on the one hand, mutual expectancy, and on the other hand, we have unilateral expectancies also. And this distinction between the two types of expectancies actually has helped us in designing the parser further, which again we will be talking about in the next talk. So these expectancies, how do they help us? So suppose now I want to build a parser mechanically. So I have these word units. I want to know how do I know that one word is related to another? It is the expectancy ākāṅkṣā, which tells me that these two words are related. So this expectancy or ākāṅkṣā tells me where is this relation coded, how it is coded. So sometimes it is coded indirectly, sometimes it is coded directly. So whether the information is explicit or implicit. And all these discussions are there in the Indian theories of verbal cognition. And then which relations are coded? What name should I give to this relation? So when we say that the word X is related to Y, what is the relation between these two words? What name should be given? So these are the discussions that go on under the section of ākāṅkṣā in the theories of Śābdabodha. So this ākāṅkṣā helps us in establishing the relation between the words. Then the next factor that was mentioned by Kumaril Bhatt, which is an important factor in understanding the sentence, is the meaning congruity or the yogyatā, which is either can be translated as suitability or mutual compatibility or fitness of meaning. And various definitions of this yogyatā have been given in the literature. One definition is, what is a congruity? It is an ability to establish a relation. Now, if I have a sentence such as bring a cow, well, here cow is something which can be brought. But if I say bring an anger, well, anger we cannot bring. So there is no mutual compatibility. So given a sentence, we need to understand whether it really fits well with that verb or not, whether it can be a proper argument of that verb or not, or whether when there are two words, whether one can be an adjective of the other or not, that we need to understand. That can be done only by looking at the meaning part of it. I will not go in the details of these 4 definitions, but I will directly jump to an example. Again, I'm taking the example that is there in the literature. Payasa sinchati is the sentence which says, he wets with water. This is meaningful sentence. But Agnina sinchati, he wets with fire. This is something which is not meaningful. We cannot understand this sentence because there is no compatibility between the meaning of fire and the wetting part of it. Now, there is one more dimension to this.
If I may,
yes,
ask a question. I mean, in the ordinary sense, Agnina Sinchati doesn't make sense. But if this is a sati, this could make sense. So I mean,
if it is
a sati, if it is a woman that burns herself, I mean, the classical way of saying it.
Yeah, fine. I'm coming to this.
Okay.
But not sati, but I will take some other dimension of it. So instead of this example, let me take another one. Devadatta is a lion. If you say you are a lion. Now here, actually, you are brave is okay, but when you say you are a lion, you are referring to a human being, and you are saying that that human being is a lion. There seems to be some kind of incompatibility. So here we don't take the literal meaning of lion, but we take the extended meaning of lion, the metaphoric meaning of lion, meaning brave. So Indians have discussed about various kinds of meanings, and they say that there are 3 different types of meanings a word can denote. Of course, there are differences of opinion among various schools. Grammarians will not accept all the 3, but the logicians accept all the 3. Grammarians will accept only the primary and the suggestive meaning. They don't accept the metaphoric usage. Whereas the logicians, they accept all the 3 meanings. There is a primary meaning, which is the literal meaning. The meaning of Simha is lion. Then the metaphoric usage, meaning of lion is the brevity. And there is some suggestive meaning also. Now the question is, when we are dealing with computers, when we are doing analysis mechanically, is it possible to deal with all these 3 meanings, or will there be any limitations? Can machine handle all the 3 meanings or not? This is the question. And here again, the Mimamsakas have helped us. There is one nyaya, which is where the Mimamsakas are discussing on different kinds of meanings, whether the metaphoric meaning can be accepted or not. And the sentence is, I'm just giving the translation of it for this Sanskrit sentence. Lakshana is resorted only as a means to avoid anarthakya dosha, anartha, anarthakya dosha, that is defect of being nonsensical. So you accept this metaphorical meaning only as a last resort to avoid the sentence being nonsensical, and that it can be resorted to only if the literal sense is found to be unsuitable in the context, and that too only as the last resort. So first you look at the sentence, see if the literal sense is meaningful. If literal sense is meaningful, you will not go for the metaphoric usage. But if the literal sense is not found to be suitable in the given context, then you have to search for some metaphoric usage, because after all, somebody has uttered that sentence and wants to convey some meaning, convey some message to you. In order to decipher it, if the normal literary sense is not possible, you go for this extended meaning or the metaphoric usage. So there are actually 3 conditions that are to be satisfied if you want to interpret the given sentence with metaphoric usage. First is there should be the primary meaning should be unsuitable in the given context. Mukyartha-badha, this is the condition they mention. Then whatever is the primary meaning and whatever meaning you are going to use it for understanding the sentence, that meaning, the secondary meaning and this primary meaning, they should be related by some means. It's not that arbitrarily you can extend the meaning in any way. There should be some kind of linkage with that. And the third one is there should be sanction for the transferred sense by popular usage. So there should be some rudhi, some usage already in the community, so that the other person can understand it. Or there should be some purpose behind it, then the person can understand it. So to give an example, if I say my house is on 80 feet road, naturally house cannot be on the road. So that means by the side of the road. So from road, we go to the by the side of the road, where by which we are actually extending the meaning of road to besides the road or by the side of road. So this extension, you can have the extension provided there is some relation between the 2 meanings. You cannot extend it arbitrarily in any ways. And that is about the second kind of meaning, that is a metaphoric meaning. And now we come to the suggestive meaning. I will directly go to the example. The example is gatostama arkaha, which means the sun is setting. Now, gatostam arkaha. The sun is setting. Now, this, when somebody says this, maybe a woman eager to meet her lover might be told by her confidant, the time has come to go to meet your lover. So she is saying, sun is setting to her friend. Or 2 workers are saying to each other, let us stop working now. Sun is getting set and it's evening. Now we need to close the shop and go back home. Or in the case of traditional Sandhya Vandanam, a servant speaking to a Brahmin would mean, or a wife speaking to her husband may mean, it is time to perform your Sandhya Vandana, that is the evening rituals. Or mother may say this to a child to mean, don't go far, it's getting dark. So the same sentence, sun is setting, may mean different things to different people. So this suggestive meaning is different for different speakers, different for different listeners, and in different contexts, they have different meanings. Speaker and listener might be same, but the context is totally different and it means different thing. Further, these suggestive meanings also have a socio-cultural aspect. So for example, this Sandhya Vandanam, some ritual which is performed by Brahmins in the evening during the sunset. This, unless you know that tradition, you cannot understand it. So you cannot get that suggestive meaning if you are unaware of that cultural aspect. So these suggestive meanings are over and above the literal and metaphoric meaning. So here, the sun is setting, the literal meaning is there, but in addition, there is some extra meaning, which is the suggestive meaning. So you are getting two meanings, one, the normal one, and then how does machine know that here in this case, there is some extra meaning? Already one meaning it has processed. So how does it know that there is another meaning? It's only the context which will tell you. So these subjective meanings involve subjectivity. Suggestive meanings involve subjectivity. And with only sentential analysis, if you are doing only analysis of one sentence at a time, it is impossible to process the suggestive meaning. But if you are looking at the whole context, maybe it's possible. Now I'm saying maybe it is possible. I'm not sure how in each and every case we can get the suggestive meanings, but in certain cases we can get the suggestive meanings. What would help us is only the discourse analysis in deciding these suggestive meanings. So this puts an upper limit on the meanings one can process. We cannot process all the three levels of meanings. Literal meaning, of course, we can. To go for metaphoric meaning, we need a lot of other information, which may be non-linguistic, ontological, etc. And in order to process this suggestive meaning, we need to look at discourse. And just by looking at the discourse, I'm not sure always we will be in a position to get the meaning. There might be certain things which are beyond the linguistic area, which need to be taken into consideration to get this suggestive meaning. So essentially, what these theories have told us is how this language, how the language can be processed, what kind of information you can extract, what you cannot extract. So this is how we have these Indian theories which are providing us the scientific basis or the information for processing of natural languages. And this is where we see the relevance of these theories to develop these various modules, especially for discourse analysis. Mimamsa Shastra will be very useful. The third factor, which was essential in understanding the sentences, is sannidhi. Sannidhi means proximity. Now, proximity is defined in various ways, but here I'm taking an example which was given by Vishwanath Panchanana. The sentence he discusses under the topic proximity is Girihi Bhuktam Agniman Devadattena. Now this Girihi means hill, Bhuktam is eaten, Agniman fiery, Devadattena by Devadatta. Now we see that actually hill is fiery. What he wants to say is hill is fiery and by Devadatta something is eaten. So Devadatta has eaten something. This is what a person wants to say, but if he interchanges the words Agniman and Bhuktam, instead of saying Girihi Agniman, hill is fiery, and Bhuktam Devadattena, by Devadatta something was eaten. Devadatta has eaten something. Instead of saying these two, he intertwines these words and then you get such a sentence. This is something which is violating the proximity. The words which are related together are not together, but are intervened by something which are unrelated. And this further leads to the sentences will not be understandable. So it leads to ununderstandable sentences. So this is how we notice that the Indian traditional discussions on understanding the sentences has helped us in designing the parser. Now, how we design the parser, how we have designed the parser, this is what I will start with. But before that, if there are any questions on...
You want to say Giri Bhukta?
No, it is Giri Bhuktam Agniman Devat. Devatattena Bhuktam. No, it is Devatattena Bhuktam. See, what he wants to say, this is Vishwanath Panchanam's famous example from the Siddhanta Muktavali, Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali. So there, what he wants to point out is, if you have a sentence, Girihi Bhuktam Agniman Devadattena, it's a meaningless sentence. The sentence should have been Girihi Agniman Devadattena Bhuktam. Devadatta has eaten something. It has nothing to do with Girihi Agniman. But instead of saying this, if you intervene Girihi and Agniman with Bhuktam, then you fail to understand this sentence. So what he points out is, there is no sannidhi. There is a violation of proximity. And this violation of proximity will lead to ununderstandability. Okay.
So, what's the analysis of Bhuktam? I don't understand that.
Bhuktam is eaten.
And there is no is in Sanskrit.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's eaten by Devadatta. Yeah, Devadattena Bhuktam Phalam. Okay, the fruit eaten by Devadatta.
That's why it doesn't match. It is a
that's what. Yeah, this is the counter example. See, what I'm saying is, Girihi and Agniman, they need to be. They need to be. No, it's not Bhuktaha. It is Bhuktam. See, there are two sentences. One sentence is Girihi Agniman. Hill is fiery. Girihi Agniman. This is one sentence. The other this is a wrong sentence. This is not a correct sentence. Okay. I should have put star there. I'm sorry. This is a wrong sentence. And what he is trying to point out, the author is trying to point out is, if such a sentence is uttered, the other person will not get the meaning. And this is what is happening. You are failing to get the meaning for this sentence because it is a wrong sentence.
And what is wrong? Something is wrong.
It has nothing to do with the fact that Giri is separated by Agniman.
Yes, Giri is related to Agniman.
Yes, but they should be syntactically separated with the object. You have that.
Giri Agniman, in between this Bhuktam should not be there. This sentence is a wrong sentence. This is an example of wrong sentence, which, and why it is wrong? It's leading to ununderstandability because there is some insertion in between two words which are related.
To my understanding, that's not the point. The point is Bhuktam is false.
The point is here the condition of sannidhi. This is an illustration of the problem. Normally the words should be, the syntactic connected words should be together also to some extent. Like you can have
no, if you
here, there's no sannidhi that's too far away.
We agree that if it were yogyatā, that would be okay.
Yeah, but
no, but then no, but if you put here bukha, then devadattena would again this you cannot relate to anything. Then this word will be hanging.
That's poetry. That's fantasy.
Oh, okay. Devadattena bhuktah girihi agniman. So you want to fine. Yeah. So the hill eaten by Devadatta is fiery. This is what you want to say. Fine. Fine. Okay. But the point here I wanted to make, or the author wants to make, is there are two different sentences. One is Girihi Agniman. The other is Devadattena Bhuktam. And if the words are now, there is some insertion between Girihi Agniman of the word bhuktam of another sentence, then it leads to ununderstandability. So this is a kind of constraint which the author wants to impose on understanding the sentence. So when you have a kind of verse and you want to understand it, you try to see that the words that are related are close to each other. There is no intervention of the words which are not related. So this is one condition which he has imposed.
And that condition maybe also sannidhi means proximity. So there is a problem of the proximity condition, which is here.
That's absolutely contrary to what I feel from this sort of languages. You see that in Greek, they do that all the time.
Because this is your interpretation is not the author's what you meant. And so again, it is you have. I understand what you meant. That's not in the same way. We could easily come up to that.
Proximity, I'm shocked because this measure of proximity is not observed in most of the sort of literature in such languages. In modern languages, okay.
No, so I will come to, okay.
Not in Sanskrit.
No, I will come to that. So this is precisely the topic of my next talk, that how much freedom is there, whether we can suppose there are 5 words, can we have 5 factorial permutations? And it says no, 5 factorial permutations are not allowed. There are certain restrictions. And one restriction is this sannidhi. So, of course, this sannidhi restriction is a strong one. We need to go for a weaker one. And there I was talking about 2 types of ākāṅkṣās. One is mutual expectancy, where both the words have expectancy for each other. And the second one is unilateral expectancy, where only one word has expectancy, the other one does not have. So such words can go long, they can go far away, and there can be some intervention of other words. But when the words have mutual expectancy, they cannot be intervened. This is what this sannidhi is saying. So there are certain cases where the words which are related can be far away, and there can be some in between insertions. Which are these words? These are the adjectives. These are the words with genitive marker, which can go far away, because only one word has an expectancy, the other one does not have. So the one which has expectancy can always come and be here. But when there is mutual expectancy, both of them should be together. You cannot have something which is not related come and be in between. So this is the gist of my next talk, where I will be talking about various permutations and what are the constraints and so on. Okay. Any other questions? I think in chat box there are 2. Okay. Yeah, some are there who are waiting to join the meeting. This is what somebody has said. And
Oh yes.
Yeah, he says it is the Vyatirek Drishtanta. Vyatirek Drishtanta is the opposite of, so opposite the example in not in favor of.
But I have already admitted them, or maybe I feel that I have already.
You can say admit all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So automatically all of them will get admitted. Okay.
Okay, readmitted or whatever. So yes, welcome back. Okay. So nothing.
Okay.
In the chat.
So no, I don't see anything in chat. So if there is nothing, shall we?
Analyze this?
Well, actually, if I.
Yes, please, please go ahead.
There is a famous example in French from Molière in which he actually pokes fun at grammarians for playing on word order and considering that word order can be altered. The example is Belle marquise vos beaux yeux me font mourir d'amour. So if those who know French will recognize this. So there's a very famous scene where
just 1 minute, Satyananda ji. Just a minute. I will try to
more sound.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it, and I don't know what happened, and I'm not able to. Yeah, I'm able to.
I can make it hear louder, but that's not useful.
So how to come out of this? Escape is, escape worked. Okay. So let me increase the sound. Yeah, will you please repeat, Satyananda ji?
Satyanad.
It's Satyanad. It's short for Satyanad Iyer.
Okay, yeah, please. Will you please repeat?
The Iyer was dropped for the obvious reason, and then people believe that it's not Satyanad. Anyway, so just wanted to point out, since you're comparing languages, that there is a very famous example in French of in Molière, where he pokes fun at grammarians and poets for actually mixing up a word order. This is also something which is found in Latin, of course, that where word order is often, I mean, the sannidhi is definitely not used. And the famous example is Belle marquise vos beaux yeux me font mourir d'amour. And so those who know French will immediately recognize that. So he plays with all permutations of marquise vos beaux yeux d'amour mourir me font, and so forth. And he's claiming that it's a characteristic of poetry that you're allowed to not to use sannidhi and play with that. So that feature is not universal. So, and even in poetry, so I believe that what you're saying is actually very useful for understanding commentaries and normal language. And what you're saying is that there is normal language, and from a point of view, from a practical point of view, it seems that it should be very easy to make an automated translation of commentaries, which would be very useful. And because, you know, the base texts are, of course, there's a lot of discussion even among scholars, so there is no point in trying to automate that. But automating the translation of commentaries, that seems to be what your work makes possible.
No, even the automating the original verses is possible, and I'm coming to that now. How we have designed the parser, and I would also like to give a demo of the system. So I think I will. Shall I continue with the second part of it, or?
Yes. So thank you, Satyanand, for the comment. But yes, it's nice. But was that French example? Some others they could understand.
Yes, I put the French in the.
Yeah, will you please put it in the chat so that we can have it. Yeah. Right. Yes.
Any French child knows about that. So. This is a frequent call. I try to find the precise. It's in the bourgeois gentilhomme.
Okay. So, so you have this one.
Chat, you didn't put it in the chat?
Yeah, he has put.
But I don't see it now.
It's there. Okay.
Ah, belle marquise, vos beaux yeux me font mourir d'amour. Okay. So where is the problem with belle marquise?
Non, c'est que l'idée, c'est que
He gives many permutations that are understandable.
il dit,
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Ah,
c'est de donner des formes plus distinguées de ça.
ah, oui, oui.
L'amour de marquise,
Oui,
vos
oui.
yeux me font mourir.
Mhm.
Le fond de marquise, l'amour de vos yeux,
Oh, right.
qui ne relèvent pas de
Oui.
l'ordre normal.
Ah, oui, oui. Ah, oui.
Et à la fin de la tirade, quelle est la meilleure formulation? Bah, celle que vous avez donnée, belle marquise, vos yeux.
Ok.
C'est à mettre avec des étoiles, ça, c'est pas du tout des émotions.
Oui. Merci. Thank you for the contribution. Okay, let's continue then.
Okay. So, now let me discuss how the parser is built. So the task here is, given a sentence, we want to get the parse tree. So for the sentence Rama Havanam Gacchati, what we want to know is, well, Gacchati is the verb and Rama is the karta or the agent and Vana is the goal. Now, how do we know this? So essentially what we do is we have the words and we have the relations between the words. So we try to model it as a graph where we have the nodes, words as nodes and the relations as directed labeled edges. Then with the help of ākāṅkṣā, ākāṅkṣā tells you where is the, what each of the case suffixes, what kind of information or relation that case suffix codes, or when the verbal suffix expresses something, what kind of information it is expressing, and so on. So using these ākāṅkṣās, we try to establish the edges between the nodes. So let me take an example, the same sentence, Rama Havanam Gacchati. The word Ramaha is ambiguous between two readings. One is Rama, masculine, singular, and in nominative case, or it can be Ra as the verbal stem, which belongs to a specific gana, specific class, adadi. Then the tense is present tense, which is called lat. First person, this is the this is the first person plural, and it is in active voice. Vanam has again two analysis, in neuter gender singular, either nominative or accusative. Gacchati has three analysis, gum as the verbal suffix, verbal root, verbal stem, present tense, third person singular active, or it may be a locative case of either masculine or neuter in singular of the participle gachat, which is derived from gum by adding a specific suffix. So we have these 7 total analysis. So corresponding to each of these morph analysis, we have a node, and then we try to see which nodes are related to which other nodes. So for Rama, we have 2, for Vana, there are 2, and for Gacchati, there are 3. And we try to establish the relations between these based on the grammar. Grammar tells us that which relation needs what kind of suffix. So the relation between the name of the relation and the suffix has been discussed, or the rules have been are provided in the grammar. Based on those, we establish these relations. And what we see is we get a graph, but essentially what we need ultimately is a tree telling us which is the root node and how the other two words are related to this root node. So there are constraints. And what are the constraints? Every suffix marks only one relation. Every karaka relation, that is the relation which specifies the activity, the argument activity, the verb and its argument, that relation is marked by a single morpheme. So if I mark these as incoming and outgoing arrows, so this incoming arrow says that this particular analysis is the karta or the agent for this particular word which denotes an activity of going. So there is this arrow which is incoming here, which says that this word is the agent for this activity. And there is this outgoing arrow which says that, well, it has an expectancy. Incoming says this satisfies the expectancy. So essentially, there are certain constraints which say that you cannot have two outgoing arrows with the same label. You cannot have two agents or two goals. There should be only one agent corresponding to every activity. And similarly, there is another condition, another constraint which says that a morpheme cannot mark a relation to itself. So always the suffix tells that this is related to something else, not to itself. So you can avoid the loops. There cannot be loops in the graph. And here we have two analyses for this word possible. But the constraint says that you can have either this analysis or this. You cannot have both simultaneously. So among these two, we need to choose one. Among these two, we need to choose one. Among these three, we need to choose one. And we need to see that it's a complete graph. So all the words are related. So these are certain constraints that we will have to follow. And of course, the sannidhi proximity violation, it says that there should not be crossing of links. There should not be some intervention. So crossing of links is not allowed. So these are certain constraints. And finally, what we also need is a tree. So we have in the beginning a graph on which we apply all these constraints. And as an end product, what we need is a tree which is well connected, which has n-1 edges if there are n nodes. Well, now this is a little bit of advertisement. So how the algorithms were developed and then how they are implemented, these are discussed in this book of mine, where whatever I have spoken today, most of it is there in the book. In addition, we have the algorithms, etc. Okay, so now I think I will go for the demonstration of this, how this is developed, or rather how it works. And then I will go for the next part of it, the usage. So, okay, so I think I need to go to this, bring down. This is our website, Samsadhani, and we go to this Sanskrit Hindi machine translation system. And I give this input, which is a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Okay. This is, I think, in the first chapter itself of Bhagavad Gita. Now, this shloka, as you see, the words are not split. So I call a segmenter, which is developed by Professor Gerard Huet. And I also tell machine that this is a verse, it is a shloka, not a prose. And I submit it to the machine. And now what machine has produced is the segmentation. It says there are 15,840 segmentations possible. So you see here, Paschyetam is segmented as Pashya. Then there is Tam here, Paschyai, Aitam, and Etam. Now we need to select the proper analysis. If you click on this, you will get the complete morphological analysis. It says Pashya is, the verbal root is Pash. It's in imperative. It belongs to the fourth class. It is active, singular, and the middle person. Okay. So you have, you need to now select among the various possibilities. So here I select this Pashya. The red color says it is a verb. Blue says it is a noun. The yellow color says it is a part of a compound, and so on. So with little exposure to these various morphological features and the color scheme, we can then select the ones which are correct one. I am selecting it little faster, and you will see that the solutions which were 14,000 are now getting reduced. The idea is to, not this, I made a mistake. I think Acharya here is the Sambodhana. So I need to select the vocative. So I select this. Well, we are fortunate here. There are no options available. There is only one for each. Then Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So I have selected the segments, and now I call my parser on this. So this is what I have selected. The color says that, the blue color says these are the nouns. This one is in genitive. This Drupada Putrena, this is a compound. Acharya is the Sambodhana vocative, and so on. And machine has produced the par structure. It says Pashya, this is the verb. Pashya means to look or observe. And he is asking the Acharya, that is the teacher, to observe something. Acharya Pashya. Chamu is the army. So look at this army. And what kind of army it is? It's a huge army, Mahatim. This huge army, which is arranged in a specific way. And this army is of the Panduputra, that is the son of Pandus. And this army is arranged by the disciple, Shishya. Whose disciple? Well, how to get rid of this? Yeah. Tava Shishya, your disciple. And Dhimata, Dhimata is intelligent, Buddhiman. So your intelligent disciple has arranged this army of the sons of Pandus, which is very big. And there is one more word, Drupada Putrena, the son of Drupada. And machine is marking this as the cause, which is wrong. Drupada Putra, the son of Drupada, is the person who is the disciple of him. So these two are one and the same persons, but machine has failed and machine has not marked the relation between these two. It is the your intelligent son, Drushtadumna, I think, who is the Drupada Putra, who has arranged this Sena. This is what is being said. So machine has gone wrong in one analysis.
Acharya is Drona.
Acharya is Drona. Yeah, Acharya is Drona. Drushtadumna, right?
So where is it from?
This Drupada Putra is marked as the Hetu, that is the cause, but it is not Hetu, it is the Visheshana for Shishya. The Shishya and Drupada Putra are one and the same. So out of these 10 relations, we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10, one relation is wrong. 90% machine has done correct. But one relation is wrong. It will lead to wrong understanding. So just as we had a way to select the segments in the previous interface, here also we have a possibility of selecting the correct analysis. So it says Pashya etam. Etam is a Visheshana, that is adjective, not for Mahatim, but it is an adjective for Chamu, which is the army. So I select this. So total 14,000 filtered trees. I select this, the number of trees will be reduced. Further, Panduputranam is a genitive of this. So again, I select this. Panduputranam, son of the Pandus, of the son of Pandus. This is the army of the son of the Pandus. So I selected this. Then for Mahatim, Tivratadarshi is emphasizer. And this is the adjective. Here, Mahati is the adjective for Chamu, big army. So big is an adjective for army. And then Vyudham. There are two analyses of Vyudham. V plus Vah or V plus Uha. And here I think this is the Uha, which is correct. So I select this. Automatically the other relation will go. And now we have Drupada Putrena. See, this Drupada Putrena Vyudham. This is arranged by the Drupada Putra. So Drupada Putra is the Karta, agent for this activity of arrangement. Tava is the genitive. Tava Shishya, your disciple. So I select this. And then we have Shishyena. Shishya, this disciple, is the Visheshana adjective for Drupadaputra. Drupadaputra is the Shishya, and therefore we have adjectival relation. And Dhimata, the intelligent is the relation, is in relation with Shishya. So Visheshana is an adjective for Shishya. I select this. And now we have a unique parse tree. So I click on this and I get the correct one. Well, etam chamum or etam mahatim chamum, anything would have been okay. So this big army of the son of Pandus, which is organized, arranged by the son of Drupada, who happens to be your intelligent disciple. So this is the 169th parse of all the 14,820. So one relation which was wrong, we could get the correct one. So if we now look, compare it with the one which we were looking at, the system that is developed by Google Translation. Here we see that we can go to each level of analysis, whether it is segmentation or the word analysis MOV, or the relations between words, the sentential parser. We can go into deep in each of these modules. The output is available to us. It is transparent, and we can make use of it to understand the whole text in origin. What Google would do is just produce the translation. It will not give us these insights, whereas here we get all these insights using this system. This is one example. I would like to show you one more. Actually, what we have done is, with all such analysis, now we have developed a kind of e-reader. Maybe I will come to those slides and then I will go back to the other example. So what we have done is, we have collected all these analysis together and put it in the form of an electronic reader. So anybody who is interested in, say, reading Bhagavad Gita, then all the analysis is available at one place. Where is it? This. So you go to these e-readers, and here you have, say, for example, Bhagavad Gita. And I can go to any of these chapters. So we were looking at example from this first chapter. So we go to this first chapter, and here is this third slok which we were looking at. When we click on this, unfortunately, this is there only in Devanagari. It's not there in Roman. But you click on this or bring the cursor over here and you get complete analysis. Also, you have access to various dictionaries. So for example, I want to understand what is Dhimat. Then I have here 4 dictionaries: Amarkosha, Then Apte's dictionary, which is Sanskrit to Hindi, Monier-Williams dictionary, which is Sanskrit to English, and Heritage, which is Sanskrit to French. So since we have the French audience, we have here French meaning of the word dhimat, which is coming from Heritage engine. Then we can go to Monier-Williams and have, I will close this and have the English. You can go to Apte's and you get the Hindi. And if the word is available in Amarkosha, we also get all the synonyms of the word dhimat. So, we have this online dictionary, the words are linked to the dictionary. So it is something like the philologists normally will be having several dictionaries and grammar books and all that. Everything is now there on the system at one place. You just type the sentence, machine produces the analysis, machine has the linkages to various dictionaries, etc. Grammar is taken care of by the parser, so you need not look at the grammar books, etc. And you can understand the whole sentence. Machine will provide possible segmentations. For selecting those segmentations, we are trying to, we need to use this yogyatā. The ākāṅkṣā, the expectancy, machine has taken care of. Sannidhi, which is again syntactic, machine has taken care of. But the yogyatā, where the meaning is involved, word meanings are involved, that part still we are working on it and trying to improve so that machine can use the meaning, but what should be the representation of meaning? That is something which is a difficult question to ask. What Google is doing is trying to represent it as a vector, n-dimensional vector of various things. But what we would like to do is try to model it using the ontological information. So some kind of ontological information we already have incorporated and tried to model it. This is how human being works, human brain works, because we have that ontological classification, hierarchical classification in our mind. So we are trying to see if we can use that ontological information to model the compatibility between the two words, verb and its arguments, etc. But this is something which is ongoing work. So what we do is machine helps us in providing the all possible analysis, and then human being selects the one which is appropriate in the given context, and then that analysis we store. And once we store all such analysis of all the shlokas, all the verses, then we make a good interface out of it so that the complete analysis is now available to other users as well. This results in a good e-reader for such texts. So several such e-readers we have developed, and so we have so far e-readers for Sankshipta Ramayana, first 100 shlokas of Ramayana, Mahabharata, few shlokas, then Bhagavad Gita, Shishupala-vadha, which is again a kind of, it's a poem by Magha. So that analysis is also done for almost half of the Shishupala-vadham. Then Raghuvamsha, again, a very important text by Kalidasa. Complete Raghuvamsha we have analyzed. And we have used these tools for teaching Sanskrit. So innovative course we have designed where we teach Sanskrit using the computational tools. And there we use both the Dandanvaya as well as Khandanvaya. The two methods of teaching or understanding the Sanskrit text. So what we do is, if I want to teach this this shloka, so you will see here, this is the verse, and here the word order is that of the prose. So we have converted this into a prose word order and presenting the words in prose word order. Then for each word, already the words are segmented. So now student knows how this shloka is to be understood. If he is competent enough, he will understand this prose word order. If he is not, he can bring the cursor over here and he gets the complete dependency tree, which gives you the meaning of, which tells you how the words are related, what is the relation, etc. And from that, he can understand it further. Further, for each word, we also have the dictionary linking. So you can go and see the meanings. So this is how one can use this as a teaching module for teaching important texts. And that is the reason we are concentrating on some of these important texts, which are normally taught in the schools. So we have these readers, which consists of translation of every sentence or verse. Synonymous words of difficult words are there by Amar Kosha. Morphological analysis is there, not just for difficult, but for all the words. Explanation of compounds are also given manually at present. And complete semantic analysis, as we have shown, is available. And we also intend to provide grammatical notes whenever necessary. So, so we have this electronic version of the reader. Now, with these e-readers, the study of Sanskrit, typically it takes 12 years to study and master the language. 1 or 2 years of introductory study in master's or bachelor's degree is not sufficient. These e-readers bridge this gap by offering all this help. And we did some experiments with this. We actually conducted some courses where we taught Sanskrit using these tools. 2 such courses we conducted, one in early 2021 and the second one in the late 2021. And this was conducted online. And the second course especially was a team taught by a team of 4 of us. Professor Hewitt was one of the course instructors, and the 2 others, so all 4 of us were in 4 different parts of the world, and all our students were global students from different parts of the world. Around 200, more than 200 students attended this course, and what we did was we taught the normal Sanskrit in the normal way, but simultaneously use these tools as a kind of to complement these students are not asked to memorize any forms, any rules or anything. The memorization, the memory was the secondary memory, not your own memory.
The course you taught from Hyderabad University?
Yes, Hyderabad University. Yes, before that I taught, yes, I'm coming to that. So before that I taught at IIT Roorkee, and before that I taught at IIT Bhubaneswar. And at IIT Bhubaneswar, the students were all engineering students. And they, of course, it was not just this course, but I had also added some mathematics and few other things to this course. So it was not just understanding a literature, but even understanding the mathematical texts. For example, Lilavati, I want to read it. So can I read it through these tools? So this was, and thanks to Professor Huben, who introduced this course in 2020, I think, 19.
We had,
Yeah.
organized
Yes.
seminar there on function.
Yeah, yes, 2019 December, yes.
But then
Yeah.
the Corona crisis came and I couldn't come back. But you
Yeah,
continued.
but then I did it online again.
So
Yeah,
Godavari Mishra,
Yes, it was with Godavari Mishra. It was an online course, and these were since these were engineering students, I thought I will take some texts from the mathematics background so that they will be more interested in, instead of taking Leela, instead of taking Raghuvamsha or Bhagavad Gita, etc. So that was the start of this. Then we had IIT Roorkee. There were 1,000 participants who had registered for this course, and then we taught it online.
they were also engineering students?
No, they were from all walks of life. Most of them were retired, but that was again a very good experience. That was also team taught by 4 of us, myself and 3 of my colleagues from India. And during that course, we after teaching this for 10 or 15 days, we gave 1 shloka, 2 shlokas each to each of these 1,000. Out of 1,750 were active. So we gave 2 shlokas each from Raghuvamsha, which has around 1,500 verses, and asked them to analyze these 2 verses using our tools. So just note that all these people, they were just, they had some exposure to Sanskrit. They were not good in Sanskrit grammar or as the Pandits. They just had some exposure to some grammar. But they had these tools with them and they had the commentaries. So what we asked is, look at the commentaries and try to see, try to analyze them taking the help of machine, and see if you can arrive at the verbal understanding, the Śābdabodha of that verse. And they did well. And we have now complete Raghuvamsha analyzed, which is available online. So, so in a sense, with the help of this course and the tools which are available for semi-automatic analysis, we can develop these e-readers semi-automatically. And such analysis, that whatever we have done, as I have shown you, these are available, where masses are involved, masses are trained in this. So there are several advantages of this. First thing, we are teaching Sanskrit, not just we are asking them to memorize, but we are telling them how to understand the text. We are making them think over the text, try to understand them on your own. Third one, whatever their understanding is, they are trying to send it back to us, which we are using to develop these e-readers. And these e-readers then again can be used in 2 different ways. One, anybody who is interested in reading such texts, for them the complete analysis is now available online. Second, we can use it to train machines using machine learning algorithms to make the system perform better and better. And what we have found is students really gain confidence, and we get the rich annotated data with this. And here are the URLs for our tools. We have these available on university website, on Amazon Cloud Server, here in France, in RIA server. And this is the heritage site where we have the segmenter available, which is linked to the University of Hyderabad parser. Well, before stopping, I would like to give you one more demo, and there are some comments also, I think. Let me check what are the questions.
We have approached at 12 o'clock. So
oh, okay, so we should stop. Oh, okay, fine.
they are not yet throwing us out.
Oh, okay, fine. So just two minutes. Okay, so Satyanad is asking, I would suggest applying your methods to Brahmagupta's propositions on geometry, because okay, fine. So maybe we will work it together, and then we'll see how we can go about it, because we will have to, as I said, this is not something which is completely mechanical, completely automatic. It's a semi-automatic process.
Yes,
so
yes, that is a good thing. I mean, you need human intervention.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't expect it otherwise.
Yeah, so it would be good if we work on this together, because machine will fail at some times. If you use it and tell us that machine fails here for this, then we can improve upon it further, and then good suggestion. Well, now just I will give one last demo and I will stop. So this last demo is on where it is. Yeah. So let me go to the reader first. I go to the Śābdabodha. And I go to cantos, and the first one I select. So this is the first shloka from Śābdabodha. Shriya pati Srimati Shasitum Jagat Jagan Nivaso Vasudeva Sadmani Vasandar Darsham Avatarantam Ambarat Hiranya Garbhanga Bhuvam Munim Harihi. The meaning is Lakshmi's consort Vishnu, who is the source of the world, who was born in the house of Vasudeva to control the world, saw Brahma's son Narada descending from the sky. Now, if I give this shloka, machine will produce the segmentation, but it fails to parse. And it fails to parse because if we look at this, Jagan Nivasa, who is the source of the world, is an adjective for Pati. And here we have Srimati, which is an adjective for Vasudeva Sadmani. So there is this crossing. And this crossing is causing a problem in the analysis, because I have told machine that there cannot be crossings. Now, how many such crossings are there? We looked at Bhagavad Gita, and these crossings are of different types. Certain type of crossings which we allow, certain type of crossings which we do not allow. So the kind of crossings which we allow are where we have the adjectives going far away. These we allow. But if the words which have mutual expectancy, they are intervened. We don't allow such crossings. And these are very few in number. This particular shloka, if I give, machine will not handle, because not just because of the crossings, but because it produces thousands of solutions, and it has limitations of some memory, because the number of solutions go beyond some million, and this is creating a problem. So this problem can be solved if we model the meaning congruity part properly. But if I give the anvaya, that is the prose order of it. So here, for example, where it is gone. Okay, so here is the prose order of the same shloka, same verse. And I have given now the split. So I'm not calling the segmenter. I have selected the prose word order. And I submit it. It will take some time, maybe a minute or so. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, well, yes, yes. So here is the analysis which machine has produced, and the first analysis happens to be a good one. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So this is the analysis of the given verse, and the first analysis happens to be the correct one, though there are 800 more. The darsha saw. Who saw it? Whom did he saw? It is the sage who is descending from the sky. And who saw it? It is the Hari or the Vishnu, who is the husband of Sri, that is the Lakshmi, who is the controller of the world, while sitting in the residence of Vasudeva, which is very wealthy. He saw, but why he is residing there? In order to control, in order to rule the world. He is sitting there, he is residing there. So there is, this relation should have been with this, not with this. So one relation again has gone wrong, but all other relations are correct. And here we have around 13, 14 relations. So out of 13 or 14, one has gone wrong, others are correct. Okay, so I think now I stop here, and if there are any comments or. No, there are no chats, nothing, no.
Okay, so thank you very much,
Professor Amaji. Thanks so much. And
I think we have also got the link, so we can little experiment for ourselves.
Sure.
And it's quite it opens new perspectives for research, but also for scholarship and for students. Means for
And for the enjoyment of the common reader.
yeah. So for to make it accessible to larger public who has
I'm happy to represent this corporation.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, and also for the public here and also the public online. So merci beaucoup. Donc nous sommes de retour le jeudi prochain. Next Thursday we continue again. The Zoom link will remain the same, and the hall might be either here or next door. I hope so.
Okay.
So, okay. So thank you to all, and see you again next Thursday. And then there are, after now, there are 2 more Thursdays for the lectures.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merci from Arjuna Manipal to everyone. Thank you, Arjuna Manipal. So I will close here.
Yes, stop share.